With the bulk of the Beyblade X news now behind us, I kind of want to talk about what I would like to see out of this system going forward. From the bays, the bits, the anime, and even the distribution. And I know it's a little bit forward thinking to talk about what could be coming next when we don't even have the Beyblade X bays released yet, but it's fun to talk about, okay? Let's talk about the bays first, starting from bottom to top. Let's go over the bits or the tips. With every single generation of Beyblade, we start off with the most basic tips possible, and that's not a bad thing. It's okay to start off from a really simple place, but seeing how things develop over time has been pretty interesting. Beyblade Burst, for example, started with tips like Excel and Quake, and then at the end, we got more moving parts and high metal drivers and bearing, and then a tip that could literally split off that was pretty terrible. I don't know if I really want Beyblade X to be that extreme with what they do, but what we have right now are flat, ball, needle, the most basic of Beyblade tips, so I would like to see it kind of upgrade a little bit. Obviously, I want to see a rubber flat tip. I think that makes a ton of sense. Rubber flat is a staple for Beyblade, and it has been for generations, and I don't know how necessary it would be to add it this time, because the bays are already really fast without the rubber flat, so maybe it would hurt performance, but we still have to get it, and I assume we are going to. Maybe we could get a bit that has a free spinning kind of yielding tip, or a bearing of sorts, as long as they keep it pretty simple. I could be completely wrong about this though, because that could totally destroy this extreme speed gimmick, but it's just something I'm looking forward to. Beyblade X is looking to be very popular. All the Amazon Japan listings are sold out. Everybody is hyped for this new generation, so I recommend Mall of Toys. They have a bunch of different pre-order listings up right now, including some bundles, and I would also recommend you guys take a look at getting that Battle Pass, because that sold out immediately on Amazon Japan. Links are going to be in the description down below, but they are going to be the best place for you guys to get your stock of Beyblade X bays. Let's also talk about the Ratchet part of the Beyblades. This is the part that I don't think have gotten enough coverage. I really don't understand how they work fully, but there are a ton of parts in here, a ton of little click, clack, patty whack. Where am I going? I have no idea what they could do with these ratchets, but I know we have 3 and 4 bladed versions. So maybe getting one that's like 5 or 6 blades, or 2 blades, 1, kind of making the balance of the bay a little bit different. I think that could be kind of obvious. But now let's move on to the blades, and this is the part that I'm not really sure about. Every generation of Beyblade has started in the same way, where it starts off really simple, kind of small, lightweight, and they get heavier, bulkier, more detailed over time. But Beyblade X can't really do that. The whole point of this generation is extreme speed, and the more weight you add on, I assume the slower these bays would move around. You also have a pretty limited play space in this current stadium, and I hope they don't release some bigger stadium like they did with Dynamite Battle later on. That would just be kind of annoying, because stadiums are kind of expensive. I would like to keep this one for a while, but if the bays get heavier, bulkier, slower, I just think it defeats the whole point of this extreme speed gimmick. But I would like to see maybe a little bit more customization. Beyblade X is only made up of 3 parts, which isn't bad or anything, but the big part that you see is the blade, and that's all one piece. So without making the whole bay heavier, I think that they could just split the blade into 2 parts, kind of like what they did for Metal Fusion, how we had an energy ring, and the whole metal wheel on the outside. They could do something similar here, and it would just kind of keep the same weight, it would keep the same size, just better customization. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Whatever direction they go into though, I would like it to be consistent. Now let's talk about the anime. I don't really have a lot of points on this because we haven't seen that much. I do hope the anime is a little bit more mature in its art and in its writing. I think that if they want Beyblade to become a sport and appeal to adults, because I feel like that's what they're going for, they need to make the anime not just for kids. And it looks like they may be doing that. It looks to be more mature in its art and in its direction so far, and they have the artist of The Promised Neverland, the writer of Kakaguri, and those are both more adult-oriented anime. I want good art, I want a good story, and I want more people to watch the Beyblade anime seriously and actually like it as a sports anime, not just because it's, Beyblade. And one more thing, this is about the manga, and this isn't really relevant to anybody, but I really wanted to collect the Beyblade Burst manga volumes, except they're impossible to find here in the States, and there's like websites you can maybe import them from, but I want the Beyblade X manga to be available here. I want to be able to go to Barnes & Noble and buy Beyblade X. I don't think that's too crazy of an ask. And finally, let's talk about distribution. This is arguably one of the most important parts of this entire video. The distribution for Beyblade Burst was pretty bad, except for in Asian markets like Japan, Hong Kong, and Korea, but that was Takara and Young Toys. They didn't mess up. The key company that messed up distribution for the rest of the world was Hasbro. I don't want to dog on Hasbro in this video, that's not really the point, but compared to Metal Fight and the plastic gen before it, distribution worldwide was not good. North America got products mostly on time with a little bit of delays sometimes, but the biggest issues were South America and especially Europe. The UK, for example, was super late to getting a lot of releases, and I don't even think they have anything on shelves right now. Obviously, it's going to drop in Japan and the Asian markets first and then kind of slowly come westward. Whenever it does come westward, it needs to stay. We need it in the US, we need it in Canada, we need it in all of Europe and South America, and it's got to be well stocked. And if they want to make Beyblade a sport, you have to make the products across the world the same. You can't have better quality skateboards or bowling balls in Japan when in the US they're made out of plastic and toothpicks. It doesn't work like that. But that's going to wrap up this video. It was just me kind of rambling about my thoughts and what I want to see in Beyblade X's near and long-term future, as well as the distribution for the entire world. Let me know what you guys think about any of my points in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun and bay away.